But those who scored the highest in the L category, let me see your hands. Highest in the L category. Okay, what I'd like to have you do is I'd like to have you stand, if you would, just for a few seconds. If you scored high in the L category. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like to have you do is look around at these people, men and women, because these are our leaders. These are the people who make great leaders. These are the people who are the inspiration. They're the people that accomplish all kinds of things. These are the people who win our wars. These are the generals, the Schwarzkopfs, you know, and the General Pat. These are the people who have the potential. These are the people who are either the president of their company or they think they're the president. One of the two. Okay, before they sit down, let's give them a hand. Okay? Now, these are super people. We call them the lions. These are the take charge people. The people that sometimes you may feel a little bit intimidated when you're with them because they can be real bold. Now, these people are the ones who build the big buildings, you know, just accomplish so many things that some of us look at and marvel. But the world is made up of a number of these people, and this is what basically makes a lot of the leadership go. Now, if they have too much of this quality, then it can create a problem in their home or in their relationships or friendships as a parent or as a child. And so, just as you're looking at your list, let's look at some of them. If they are, they really like authority, they like to take charge, but sometimes they can become pushy and overbearing, and they can step in front of people and just sort of move people aside in order to get things done. That can be real irritating and offensive to a mate or to a friend. One time I was in my office, I did a lot of counseling in years past, and my secretary said, there's a real strong person on the phone here that wants to talk to you, and he won't take no for an answer. So instantly I knew right off, we got a lion on our hands here. And so I picked up the phone, I said, hello, and he said, my wife is leaving me, and I need to see you right away. Because, see, one of their mottos is, we got to do it now, immediately. We don't want to waste any time. And so I said, well, sir, I'm not able to see you today, but I could schedule sometime this week. No, you don't understand. I need to see you today. See, this is a very serious thing. That's lions. See, they want to, right now, take over. So he started pushing in on me. No, I could see you anytime. Like, what time are you off of work? I could see you after work. I could go to your home. You could come to my home. I said, sir, you're not understanding. I can't do that today. And he's pushing on me. So I say this to him. I hesitate. And I say, sir, could I make an observation? And he said, yes. And I said, sir, you are one of the pushiest people I have ever talked to on the phone. I've never talked to such an arrogant, pushy, insensitive. I said, I don't even know your wife, and I obviously don't know you, but I maybe can understand why she's leaving you. I mean, I said that. It's very hard for me to do that, but he was so pushy, you know, I had to get him off the phone. I did see him that week, and incidentally, when I talked to him straight, he appreciated it. And he did eventually win his wife back. They separated for about 6 months, and he was a good learner, and really did open up and seek forgiveness from his wife and all the things. But he had to learn that sometimes too much of this stuff can really cause a problem. And I said, if you have a little child, right off, I mean, the little babies are demanding. You just feel lion blood in a child, and they are the ones that let you live at home. But I had a friend who had a little 6-year-old about a lion child, and she was taking a shower, and she told me the story, and he was banging on the door saying, Mom, I want my bike out of the garage. Mom, she said, honey, I'm taking a shower. I'm not dried off completely yet. I'll be out in a minute. No, I want it now. So he just irritated her and banging away on the door. And she said, okay. She's got the kind of personality that would give in to something like that. And so she put her house coat on, didn't actually strap it, which she should have, but put her house coat on. And she went out in the garage to get him his bike so he could take it outside. And she forgot just for a second. Now picture this, she's facing out this way, and she forgot just for a second that her garage door was broken, and she'd known it was broken, but just for a second, because she was in a hurry, and she picked it up, and the spring was broken, and it just went whoosh, but it caught her house coat. So she's facing out to the street, trying to rip it off, you know. But, I mean, little lion children can frustrate the life out of us, for sure. Along the same story, we had a lion in our office. I sometimes counsel with Dr. John Trent. Incidentally, Dr. Trent is the one who developed this with me originally and really was the one that taught me how to do this. So we have a book about it and so on. But anyway, he and I sometimes counseled together. And we did have a man that flew into our city and wanted to counsel with his wife. And oftentimes the lion personality marries just the opposite, and I'll explain that as we go on. But he was in our office, and he was very resistant, and similar to the one I had talked to. And so, and it's not my nature to do this, so I usually don't. But John Trent raised up in his chair, and we were a little tiny table between us, and stuck his head across the table and said, "I want to say something to you. I want you to know that you are ruining your marriage. You are ruining this woman. You are messing with your children big time. And I want you to know that either you understand what I'm saying or you're going to continue to go downhill with your family. Do you hear me?" And I'm like this. And then he rose up out of his chair. He said, "Yeah, well, no one's ever talked to me like that before. What gives you the right to say this?" They were like this, nose to nose. And I thought, they're going to start fighting. And he sat down in his chair, and he said, "You know what? No one has ever talked to me like that, but I needed somebody to say these things. They can rise up, but they have a very tender part in their heart. But if they have too much of it, it can be really, really offensive." Well, they're the ones, like when you go on vacation, they're the ones that can't rest. You know, if it's either the wife or the husband, you get out there and say, "Okay, kids, tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, we're going to 45 things. Okay, get ready." Because they just have such a hard time resting. If you ever know, they have too much lion in them, they're the people that are either working or resting to work. They have that whole attitude. And my son, Greg, that's here with us, he has a lot of lion in him. And as he was growing up, as a dad, when I wanted to talk to him about something that I thought he was not doing what he should be doing, it was a 2-hour confrontation. It was, "Dad, no, I don't agree with that." I mean, this was when he was little. "No, Dad, no, here's what's right." "No, son, here's what's right." And it was 2 hours. Many times I was worn out. And at the end he'd say, "Oh, I see your point." But it isn't easy when you have a child that's a lion to get that. They're the ones, the lions are the ones that are on the road many times that are honking for people to get out of the way because they're in a hurry. Did you hear about the parents? The father was a lion, but the mother happened to be taking this little kindergartner to school. And just before they got to school, the little kindergartner said, "Mommy, where are all the idiots?" And she said, Jimmy, where'd you learn to talk like that?" He said, "Well, Daddy took me to school yesterday and we saw 5 idiots." So that's lions. Now, I'm sure that's not true of the lions here, but you know what? I said that what they like, the phrase is, "Let's do it now." But you know what they need when they're real stressed? They often need to express their anger, which is not only the greatest thing for a family, but that relaxes them. Isn't that amazing? And then just time relaxes them. But gives them energy when they can express it. So if you're married to one, you might want to have some rules on how they express it and their method and so on. Okay, that's the lion. Great people. Appreciate them. There's no way this would be happening unless we had lions around, right?